And I didn't get it all organised in time. I tried my best to get it all organised in time, but I left it late, as I usually do. Welcome back to the West Ham Network, and West Ham are bidding to make it 4 Premier League victories in a row when we welcome Leeds United back to the London Stadium on Sunday afternoon. West Ham currently 4th in the table, boasting 37 points from our 21 league matches this season, while Leeds have picked up 19 points from as many matches to sit down in 16th position. Games are getting called off all over the shop because of COVID and because of teams and their injury problems and the lack of transfers. So they've just decided to call games off just for the fun of it, which is getting a little bit ridiculous. And the Premier League need to get involved somewhere. Anyway, I'm Anton. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. Subscribe, like, comment, and we'll jump straight over to Lucky Boy Matty Boy. Leeds, mate, how you feeling about it?
I was last week.
Matt, you're jumping, mate. Matt, your audio is jumping like you would not believe. I'm going to let you go and get that sorted, and I'll bring in our first guest. Let's bring him in. He's all prepped and ready to rock and roll. Lucky Boy, that's who I was talking about earlier on. How you doing, mate?
Oh, right, because I'm not really the one with a bad connection, so up yours, Matt. That's how for you to suffer. I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, good, mate. How you feeling? Leeds United at home. You know, we've just played them in the FA Cup, of course. We got the victory, which was good. Now we have them in the league. How you feeling about it?
It's very strange because I was feeling confident. It's 2 wins in a row, two goals scored, 2 clean sheets. But it's funny because there's a bloke at work who's a massive Leeds fan. He wasn't confident with the FA Cup game, but he's confident for this game for some reason. I didn't really ask him why, in case he told me something I didn't want to hear. But it's got potential to be, a bit of a, what do you want to call it? A bit of a banana skin, if you like. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be anything like the FA Cup. I don't think many Leeds fans wanted the FA Cup. I don't think they're that bothered about it. I don't know if you agree with me there, but they seem to be more transfixed on staying in the league, pretty much. And they've got a lot of injuries to worry about and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm confident, but at the same time, I'm wearing white, but I'm not supporting white, obviously, just because people would want to comment on that. Like they do everything else about my life.
Do you not think the banana skin game was the Norwich one, and we got through it, albeit we didn't play the best football in the world? I think one player who did play really good football was Jared Bowen, but you know, we did get through it, and that would have been the banana skin. Obviously, we've got ourselves through the FA Cup as well, but we're coming off the back of 4 consecutive wins, 3 in the Premier League, 1 in the FA Cup, and 1, and of course, Leeds United in the FA Cup, who are a Premier League team. I mean, that's a good confidence booster, is it not?
Me as a fan, the way I am, every game is a banana skin. It doesn't matter how well we're doing. I'm never totally confident West Ham are going to get the win. But at the same time, I was worried about Norwich because I could see it being like today. They beat Everton 2-1 today, I believe, didn't they? So, they must have been atrocious, Everton, to let that happen, because if Norwich played the way they did against us, then they would have been even less likely to score. And they scored 2 goals, which is amazing. But yeah, it's not the same as Norwich. They're going to be a tough opposition, no doubt. Leeds United, they play good football. And honestly, I think against us in the FA Cup, if they had their striker on form, they could have got a couple of goals. I think James missed one, didn't he, directly in front of ours late on in the game. There was a couple of chances they had, which they just completely put wide, which is a bit lucky for us. But at the same time, I think they'll come to the London Stadium tomorrow and they'll be full of beans. They'll be, all guns blazing. I think the way that, I know my name says Bielsa who, because he's not doing as well as I thought he would as a Premier League manager. I think they'll be more up for it tomorrow than they were in the FA Cup. And so it's a banana skin. It's a banana skin in the sense that we're doing so well, we shouldn't let it get to us. We should still go into it with the same mentality. But at the same time, I can see people going, well, we beat them in the FA Cup, so we should beat them in the league. It's not always the same. Every game is different.
No,
so
it is. Let me jump into the chat and then we'll go on and discuss Leeds. Neil T's in the house. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. Kimbo is there also. James, evening. Hope you are well. Long Dark Tunnel. I know you're going to give me trouble, Long Dark Tunnel. You always do. You've got the timer on. Black Country Hammer, hope you're well. Henry Layton, good to see you. It's not Stell tonight. It's myself, evening all. Come on, you irons from Howards. There you go. Look, I told you. I've had the slap the wrist. But it's me. Mikey boy, how you doing, mate? Evening Hammers, how are we feeling? Happy Hammerette, good to see you too. Excited, Mikey. Everyone but City dropping points, loving it. How did you boys get on? Obviously, just for people who don't know, Mikey is actually a Ghent fan, but has now been also moved over to the Claret and Blue of West Ham, which we absolutely love. Mark Alexander's in the house, even though Chelsea lost, when you're Drew, and it's in our hands. We are massive. Freno, you're in the house. Freno, I sent you back an email and I've not had a reply yet, but just to let you know, the email has been sent back to you. Glenn Marshall, we are massive. Blank Country Hammer, must win tomorrow. Kimball, good evening, everyone again. Hope everyone is okay. Daniela Stewart, evening, everyone. Hope we are a lot more relaxed and chilled out than Man United, Spurs, FA have both having meltdowns tonight. Toby Sampson, Irons, love it.
You want to see what else he's saying? You want to see what else Toby's saying about me?
Oh God, we'll get there. I will get there. We'll get there.
James Bond's already
Frank Butcher, oh, we will, Anton, because we are bloody massive. Happy, how are you, love? Frank Butcher's in the house. Oz, hi all, hope you're well. Steve Bell's in the house, good to see you. Frank Butcher says, Matt, you sound like a Wookiee. That was before you got your things sorted. Frank Butcher saying BL's who, and he's laughing. Loves your banter. Loves your banter. Toby Sampson, did Michelle Hansen get that marvellous turtleneck look? Glenn Marshall, Leeds aren't that good. Another professional performance. Take that bloody white rag off, son. Something wrong with ya?
Yeah, being on this channel for a start.
Matt, can you ask Matt to cheer up, for fuck's sake, everyone? Matt, we want a big smile on our face. You know, everyone, can't stay long in USA mode.
You sounding good?
You sound too.
Yeah. Cool. Ready for the big game, 1:15 a.m. tomorrow. Enjoy the show. Thank you very much for joining us. Father Snowman, just got to dig in and get the job done. Absolutely. Ludders is in the house. Hope you're well. Your countdown, best enjoy the sunshine for the time being. Matt was all happy for the FA Cup game. We couldn't lose. What's happened, Matt? James Bong with bigger ears would look like Spock in that.
I can do it, actually. I can do it.
Oi, Dave's in the house from Budgie. Yeah, Budgie boy. Hope you're well, mate. Adam Cook's in the house. You're good as well. What's in the top drawers, Matt? That's what everyone's interested to know. What is in the top drawers? Probably all the prizes from football prizes. Lauren,
you don't want to know what's in that top drawer, mate. You don't want to know what's in that top drawer. Secrets.
3 points incoming tomorrow from Lauren Rose. Matt WH is, guys, we need to win tomorrow. I'm positive about tomorrow and also the Man United game. Hi, everyone. Hope we all have a great day. We are massive from Lee Vasallo. Jason, evening. And that's it. We'll get started on the preview. So it's time to talk Leeds. Now, there is no getting away from the fact that Leeds have struggled to show their best form during the 21-22 campaign, boasting a record of 4 wins, 7 draws, and 8 defeats from their current set of matches. A total of 19 points has left them in 16th position in the table, just 8 points clear of relegation zone, and they have worryingly conceded 15 times in their last 4 league fixtures. Now, Matt, we did play them in the FA Cup only 7 days or 6 days ago, but as of tomorrow, it'll be 7 days ago. But it'll be a different Leeds team this time round, won't it?
I mean, to a little bit. At the start, you were talking about, all these cancellations with COVID and stuff. Leeds have basically played about 2 months with 9 players out, and their players are still out.
Yeah.
They might have 3 players back on the bench tomorrow that can make a difference, but they've got another one out banned, so it's the tactics might be different, their mentality might be different, but by and large it's going to be the same players because they've got no one else. They are really scraping the bottom of the barrel. You see they Arsenal got a game cancelled because they got 1 COVID case, but they've got injuries. You look at Leeds, and Leeds have been rocking on with we've had a back 4 out pretty much from 6 weeks straight. Leeds have had 9 players out. They still got players out for like another 2 months. They're still playing on, but what can you do? It's life of football.
I think you've got to consider. I think I seen something today regarding the Wolves game, for example, that Wolves gave a 22-year-old debut to one of the kind of foreign younger under 23 players, and they had 2 youth goalkeepers on the bench, and they had to call up 3 to 4 youth players from their under 23 teams into the bench just to make sure they could field a full strength squad. But they just got on with it, and you can't help but think to yourself, like, teams like West Ham, Leeds, Wolves are just getting on with it. But then you look at like the Arsenal, the Tottenhams, the Leicesters, and they're actually, it's like they're in panic mode and they're thinking this is going to do them the world of good. But Tottenham are going to have 4 games on hand, and they're going to have to fit that within a
somewhere
fixture.
to fit and make up. Yeah,
but what happens now is, for a team like Tottenham, who are now out of Europe and are now out of cup competitions like that, and they've got the FA Cup. Now they've got 4 games to make up. It's going to be like they're playing in Europe again.
Yeah.
And Conte will not like that with the fixture congestion.
A month for 3 games a week. Yeah, they're going to try to find it, fit it in.
Yeah, but they haven't got to go to like the end of the earth of like Mother Russia if they to go and play their games. You've got to go like up north.
No, I think they've got to go away to Burnley's one of the games.
Depends what you classify up north in terms of Burnley and the weather.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think they've got to Burnley's one of the games.
Comparison with Mother Nature of Russia, with the weather.
I'm sure Burnley, Leicester, and obviously Arsenal were 3 of Tottenham's games they got to play. Not exactly easy games.
But we are hearing that Bamford is in contention to return for Leeds this time round. We're also hearing that Rodrigo might be back, may be back and available for this game as well. And obviously the 2 of them didn't really feature at all in the game last time round. So that would make a difference. And then we all know what Rafinha can offer on his day. But he never started the last game round. So you're talking about 3 big players there that could really make a bit of a difference to Leeds.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Bielsa in his interview said Bamford, Rodrigo, and Struijk will be back in contention for the squad, but apparently he tends to decide on they don't think they'll start.
Right.
Apparently Bamford was penciled in to start last week.
Yeah, well, we did hear that, yeah, but he didn't.
And then he had a hip knock or something, ruled him out. Rafinha's been carrying a knock, but they've been so short of players that instead of having him sitting on the sidelines, like getting recovering, they've been having him on the bench, coming in and out of games, keeping him sort of involved because they've got no choice.
Yeah.
He apparently is penciled in to start tomorrow. Now, I don't know if he's going to be starting up front or on the wing. I just looking at the players they've got. It's either Rafinha's going to be up front or Dan James is going to be up front. It looks like. But then they're going to have Rodrigo, Struijk, and Bamford all come off the bench.
But the thing is, though,
for them, that's 3 subs that they haven't had the last 2 months.
And look, 8 other first-team players, which includes the likes of Calvin Phillips, Liam Cooper are out. Diego Llorente suspended, Tyler Roberts is both suspended, but you can't help but think that Leeds massively miss Calvin Phillips, don't you?
Yeah, he's. I like Leeds. I've got a lot of respect for the sort of size.
We know you do. You're winning the top.
Yeah, and again another one. No, it's I don't know. It's a bit more of a blankety throw than a top, but yeah, all right. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, they've got a lot of injuries, and it will kill anyone. I think we would be like sinking big time if that happened to us, especially with the size of our squad. I don't know. Their squad must be quite big because to miss that amount of players and still have a fairly okay squad going on, to have like 9 players out. I mean, that's a team basically. To have that much first team players out, so there must be a lot of players in there that. I mean, we say all the time that our youth team. Why isn't Langelo stepping up? Why isn't this player not coming in? Why is that player not coming in? And Leeds must be rolling these players out. And it's like anyone says, if you want to get the best out of your youth team, you've got to start playing them. So maybe Bielsa has gone, do you know what? Ian, if you're not good enough, we need you. And because they've got that chance to get some exposure for themselves, they're actually getting better in the team. Because Leeds ain't been terrible in the league. Like they've not been horrendous. They've been quite unlucky. They've done a few results here and there. They were unlucky against us, really, I think. But they're a good team, and this is the fact is that when they do get their full team back, it's kind of worrying how good they could be, because Rafinha must be doing a lot of work for him in the team, because to still keep him up and scoring goals like he has done is fantastic. Calvin Phillips there's obviously always that competition, isn't there? Who's better, Rice or Phillips? Well, I think Rice is I think he's miles ahead of Phillips personally, but there you go. I don't watch Phillips every week, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, it could happen to any team. Unfortunately for Leeds, it's happened to them. But in a way, it just means that we got a chance to, even more of a chance to beat them. So while I'm sympathetic, at the same time I couldn't care less. If you know what I mean, respectfully.
Another player that I mentioned when I'd done the preview last week is the Leeds United goalkeeper. Now, listen, I know we managed to sneak 2 goals by him, but I don't doubt for a second that this guy is a top quality goalkeeper, and I think he is. And people are even putting in the comments there, like, he did kind of alienate any of the major threats that were coming into the box. Of course, I think was it Bowen that got the header against them last week in the FA Cup?
No, Bowen scored the goal right at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, sorry, he did. Yeah, but
the counter-attack winner.
They have got a good goalkeeper, and okay, they're struggling defensively, but it's always good that they've got someone in between the sticks that they can kind of trust. But this is the team that they put out the last time they played in the Premier League, not against West Ham. Matt, dissect that for us, mate, and what you kind of think that maybe will or will not happen. Now, we do know from looking at that, and we have obviously got the information that Llorente will be missing. We think possibly Firpo could be back. He did pick up a bit of a knock against West Ham. He did come off, but we're not sure 100% if he will be back, but he may be back. But apart from that, what else do you know, Matt?
I'm not sure if that's even the right formation. That formation looks really weird. I said it's a 3-4-3, but I'm sure that'd be a 4 at the back, like Firpo tucking in the left-hand side. They played us last week, and they played like a 4-2-3-1. I mean, just looking at that team, Llorente's banned. I thought he was banned last week, but it's not. It's a Premier League game, so he's banned this week, so he can't play.
Yeah.
Roberts is injured. Roberts won't be playing. From what I've read, to do a bit of reading, obviously Meslier will always play as number 1 keeper. Like you said, he's actually a really good goalkeeper. For someone as young as he is, I think 22 or 23. But from what I've read, they reckon the back 4 will be Luke Ayling and Firpo as the fullbacks. Apparently, Firpo had a knock and was dizzy and dazed, and they're a bit worried about a concussion, which is why he got come off last week in the end. He said he was a bit dazed and dizzy, but he's been interviewed this week and said he's fine. He thinks he's going to play, so I guess it wasn't a concussion. They cleared him to play. They reckon the centre backs for the game tomorrow, because Llorente is out, will be Koch and the young guy that played centre back against us last weekend, Helder.
Oh, Hilda.
Yes, that one. They reckon they'll always play Dallas and Forshaw, probably playing as a 2 holding in front. Obviously, Forshaw's literally just come back in the team after like a horrible 2-year injury. So he's basically come straight back in the team and had to step up with everyone else injured. Klitsch probably playing as a centre attacking mid again, which isn't really his role, but needs must. He's more like a box to box. And then the front 3, you got Harrison will probably play left. And then I'm guessing Rafinha right and Dan James up front. You could switch them 2 round either way you wanted. Rafinha probably does better coming off the wing than arguably Dan James does as well. I mean, maybe he gambles and does start one of Rodrigo at Bamford. Could you really afford it? Both just coming back from injury, can you afford to gamble and throw him straight back in when you're, like you said? I mean, the 9 plays down again, because even I didn't understand why he came off at half time, but last week the kid Greenwood start up front.
Yeah,
and he's done his knee in. That's why he come off.
Yep.
He's got a minor knee injury now as well. So even the kids they're bringing in are getting injured.
Taking into consideration what Matt's saying, look, and thinking about the FA Cup game in particular, how do you think Leeds coped with Antonio starting the FA Cup game? I mean, I've heard a lot of people saying that they marked him out of the game, but I saw an extremely different performance from Antonio.
To a point, they're right, because he wasn't in his normal position. He was having to come deeper and deeper to collect the ball, and he was fighting them off. But a lot of people said that due to his recent performances, Antonio, that was one of his best games for ages. It was like the beast was back, because the way he set up the first goal with all the work he'd done, and it was nice to see him playing that way, throwing his weight about, doing, his work ethic was back. I don't think it's ever gone. For me personally, I don't think he's ever really had a bad game this season, but to a level, they probably did mark him out of the game. But then again, at the same time, Antonio hasn't really been as potent in the last few months than he has at the start of the season. So you can say that, but then, it wouldn't be funny. But the person that would probably be better for them to mark out the game was Bowen, because he had more of an impact on the game, I think, overall, than Antonio did. But yeah, they marked him out to a point. He didn't score, did he? So in that way, they did mark him out. But he looked like he had a battle in his hands. I think sometimes Antonio needs that. Actually, I think sometimes he needs a defender to give him some competition. Because if they just sort of like let him have a free roll, he wanders a bit, and because he hasn't got that mind to go, I'm going to do this, forget the ball, I'm going to do that. You can see Antonio. He needs someone to push him about a little bit, so he can push him back and then go and then do his thing. So in a way, they done the job on him, but at the same time, 1-2-0, so they couldn't have done that much of a job on him. Let's face it.
Well, I thought something that's interesting, we've shown it quite a lot this week on the channels, but just for your reference and anyone who has watched not just this show and hasn't watched any other channels, is Antonio's 21-22 heat map for West Ham. I mean, it's ridiculous. That is the amount of ground that Antonio covers for West Ham in the current season, which is, it looks like, I mean, I can see by your faces that you're pleasantly surprised.
I went to the Norwich game in a week. Sorry to interrupt. I went to the Norwich game in a week, and there was a guy behind me who was just slagging him off the whole game, saying he's lazy. And I just wanted to them points when you just think, I just want to turn around and say, what is your problem? But I let it go. Obviously, everyone's got a right to their own opinion, and fair enough. I mean, if he just scored, I'd turn around to him with a big old smiley face saying, say he's lazy now. Because if there's one thing he's for West Ham, he's not lazy,
I just want to give people a comparison in the heat map to Sebastian Haller and Sebastian Haller's last season at West Ham. No, I mean, it's not as bad, but what it does show you is a more direct approach as a striker. So this is Sebastian Haller's heat map for West Ham. But as you can see there's more of a straight up top sort of approach. You kind of draw back in to help the midfield, and then you move straight into the box, which, that kind of system with an out-and-out striker didn't seem to suit us. Whereas the Antonio system, which is let's just run fucking everywhere and support everyone, seems to work for our club. I mean, it's a ridiculous heat map, isn't it? It's fascinating to look at. Let's take a look and see what happened the last time out the two clubs met in the Premier League. I remember watching the game live, doing the Matchday live. It's a game I normally would have gone to, couldn't go due to the connection with the baby coming so soon. I think were we not 1-0 down in that game?
Yeah,
1-0 down.
Yeah.
It was Rafinha, wasn't it? It was Rafinha from just outside the box. And to turn it around in the style that we did was phenomenal. And to cap it all off, Antonio's goal was out of this world. It was a fantastic pass from Declan Rice, and the amount of work that Antonio had to do to kind of get that ball, and put it past Melia was just
best touch ever. He's the greatest first touch he's ever had.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's time we talk about our beloved West Ham. Go over and see exactly some of the stuff that David Moyes said in the press conference. what did the gaffer have to say? And I'll put this one to you, Luke, first. He went on about team news, and he says here, when you play Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, you're always liable to pick up injuries with the schedule. We have 1 or 2 knocks that we need to assess. Kurt is on his way back and has started back in training, but all the clubs have got situations, whether it's injuries or COVID, and we have to deal with it as best we can. Kurt is on his way back and doing well in training, and he is another one who's gone down with the virus. I don't want to be specific on who's got COVID and who has injuries, but you're right, we had Thomas Souček and Mark Noble out on Wednesday, but we're hopeful we might get one of them back. We've also had some other players who have had COVID, and like all the other clubs who we've had injuries and COVID, and we're trying to work through it. Since then, we've since learned that Fredericks, we believe, has picked up a knock from the game. Creswell seems to have got through the game against Leeds. We're hearing rumours that Mark Noble's picked up an injury. It could be out for up to a month. So Zouma has had COVID, but is now out of isolation.
Mm.
The question is whether or not, and the statement that Moyes has made about Tommy Souček, because we believe that obviously he played the West Ham game last Sunday, and this game is this Sunday, which is 7 days. And I know there's all these rules about the isolation period, so that would mean that he would miss the game tomorrow due to following the old rules, because I don't think the new rules of isolation come in until Monday.
Who knows?
Matt, do you have anything on it?
No, that's what I was about to say, because obviously got this new rule about isolating for 5 days. But like you said, if he played, if you play Sunday, if he tested positive after the game Sunday, then what? You could say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So he possibly could play tomorrow, but
I think it's a
hard one.
This is what makes choosing this team for this game tomorrow really hard, because COVID does have a massive knock-on effect on what players can come out. So things can change overnight, as we have been saying now for the last 6 or 7 weeks. But it's just the fact that Moyes said what he said about Tommy Souček and Mark Noble. Now, we're led to believe that Mark Noble's the one that's picked up the injury, not Tommy Souček. So to have one of the two coming back would only really leave Tommy Souček.
Souček, yeah.
But and even when you look around, like if you look at all the mainstream media, they're saying here West Ham hope to have Tommy Souček back for the visit of Leeds. I
suppose the 7th day it could arguably be tomorrow, but if he provides 2 negative tests, can he play?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want him to play. Look, without the likes of Tommy Souček, how do you think we fared against Norwich, and can we do? We're going to talk about the team in a minute, but can we do what we did against Norwich against Leeds?
No, for me, no. They're a completely different kettle of fish. You know, for a long time, in fairness, for a long time, people have been saying that Souček needs a rest anyway. So the way it just works out for those people, including myself as well, who for a while thought that Souček needed dropping. I didn't think he was on form, and then since I said that, he started playing well. So obviously, you must have watched this video and gone, "No, I'm going to probably be wrong, Luke," which is just typical. The Zouma thing, I don't really get, because if he has had COVID, and then after an injury, then why was he in training? But like you say, you start thinking about the rules, the isolation, what's what, and people can go through loopholes and all the other stuff as well. So that comes into contention. But I don't want Zouma rushed back. By the way, I want him to be left out for as long as possible till he's fully fit. But they know more than me, because Creswell played on Wednesday night. I didn't think he was going to be back for.
I don't think anyone knew he was.
No, exactly. That was out of the blue. And he didn't.
Well, talk to me, Luke, about Creswell. I mean, you were just about to say he didn't look like he'd been missing at all. I mean,
no.
What was your thoughts on him?
I honestly, every time he got near the ball or was running around, I was like, gritted teeth, because I thought what he's going to do his backing. I was going to look, he was going up for headers. He was running around. I think there was a few times where he didn't put that many crosses in. The delivery wasn't like the big outswingers. The corners wasn't really. We were doing short corners as well. Again, I don't know why they think it works, but it never works. But he was doing short corners anyway. He was putting a few balls into the middle, like Fornals was, and it was. Diop still looked a bit suspect at the back. He still looked a bit iffy, but at the same time, there seemed to be this West Ham back. That kind of the feeling with the back line that suddenly Creswell's back. We got to worry no more. We're all settled. I think Norwich had 1 or 2 shots that worried us. I think one hit the post. That was about it. Leeds are going to be a completely different kettle of fish. So Creswell, Creswell's back is great. I'm bewildered by why Al's come back, but that's classic Moyes with the way that he doesn't tell the media everything and he keeps everything quiet, and then bang, something like that happens, which surprises you. So God knows what's going to happen on Sunday. Suchek could come back, Noble could come back. I don't know. That's the way it works. You never really know with Moyes. But Leeds are going to be a completely different kettle of fish. I think we knew in a way what sort of Norwich was going to turn up. They weren't going to go gung ho trying to get the win. They were going to try and maybe concede as least goals as they could. So that almost works really, because they lost 2-0. I don't know what that if we're going for a 0-0 draw or something, but
yeah,
Lanzini's been put in the midfield, and that I think is good. It's very good if you want to play a sort of a more attacking formation, because although he tried to put a few tackles in, he weren't a defensive midfielder, so that wasn't his game. And Rice was doing more of his old game, which was just going in front of the defence, picking balls up, playing to other people. Didn't make that many forward runs like he does this season, so that's quite interesting. But against a team like Leeds, it depends what sort of midfield they've got out. Because if they've got a robust industrial midfield, you want possibly a Lanzini in there to pick the pockets, break up the play a few passes here and there. But if you want someone like Krell, a defensive midfielder who hasn't played much, who could really get his first start or whatever, then it might be a perfect game for him, because you've got the two industry of Rice and Krell there, who can disperse when they need to, can work hard, can defend. Rice can get forward more and Krell can stay back. With Lanzini, it's good, but I don't think it's a long-term thing. I think it needs to be something that happens, the odd game here and there, because as much as Lanzini's probably good at playing that role, he's a good footballer, he's a good playmaker. He's almost wasted, I think, in that side, because I think most people thought he was finished, Lanzini, with his injury, and then he starts playing again, and now we're thinking, well, there's no way that you can drop Lanzini, and plus when he goes forward now, he looks like he's just as alert as anyone else. So Souček being out is different. I think it's going to ask more of Rice, personally, in the long term. But this is the thing, because as much as you want to put the press conference there that he's talked about, and I completely agree with what you're saying, and he's making good points, and we're getting the news in, when you do something like bang, putting Creswell out there Wednesday, my mind just goes, I don't believe anything he ever says ever again, because I can't take him seriously. But at the same time, I can. Because if you saw him in the street and you went to Moyes, why did you put Creswell in Wednesday? I thought he was still injured. And he goes, did I say he was still injured? Did I tell you? No, I didn't. I didn't mention it at all. There's been no mention of it. So in a way, if he doesn't tell you, then there's even more reason to go when it might happen. So
yeah. Matt, on top of the fact that Creswell's back, which is great news for us, we've seen Kurt Zouma at training in the week, and the club released a video. Don't know if any of you've seen the video, but I did. It was such a feel-good factor. I mean, you couldn't help but feel that as a West Ham fan. It completely transparent through the phone or whatever contraption you were watching it on, and felt. I don't know if you got the goosebumps. It was like that. It was. Go on,
Did you see when he clapped hands with Masuaku? Because he was the one. But he was the one that he was the most friendliest with. And I don't know if you put the video on mute, or if you just tried to make a conversation up, or like a meme that I do sometimes, you just looked at him going, "Bro, why are you being so shit at left back?" And he's like, "I don't know, bro. I'm trying to do well, but I can't do. I'm not a left back. I'm a left winger." And you can just go, "What's happened to you? What's happened to you?"
Yeah. But no, anyway. It's just good to see. It's good to see Matt, isn't it? Kurt Zouma back, but I mean, there's not really. There's no need to play him this week, is there?
I would say no. I'd expect him to be on the bench. Like you said, there's a feel-good factor. Like, there's no need to have him, but I think last game we had 4 kids on the bench, which none of them had made an appearance. They were just on the bench to be there. So just to give the team a boost, chuck him on the bench, give the crowd a bit of a boost. Oh, look, Zouma's on. And then if we're 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, chuck him on for 5 minutes, give him like a stretch of his legs. He's going to need. He's back in training, but then you need match fits. You can't, especially for a centre back, just go, all right, you're back this week. Don't do anything this week. Man United next week. Because at some point he's got to play, but you don't want to chuck him back in the deep end and go, oh, you're fit, right, off you go. I mean, Moyes could go, you know what? Dawson's been playing for a month with whatever his injury is. He might go, right, Zouma's back now. Dawson, you can take your turn on the injury table. Zouma's coming in. Personally, I wouldn't do it. I'd leave Dawson Diop for now, but people talking about him playing Man United next week. If he's going to play Man United, he's going to need some form of minutes.
Yep.
Whether it's 10 minutes at the end, 5 minutes at the end, it could be injury time. Chuck him on for 3 minutes, do a Yarmolenko.
Yeah, but
Chuck him on for 3 minutes.
Does he though? Because you could say the same thing about Creswell. That Creswell needed minutes before he starts the game, and look what happened on Wednesday night against Norwich. And not be funny, but Man United about as good as Norwich at the minute, especially after tonight's result. 2-0 up, and then they're going to concede 2 goals. And this is the thing, Matt. This is the interesting thing. I actually think it makes videos more interesting because you can now do a thing where you speculate more and you go, how much bullshitting is Moyes doing? Because he's playing the media, right? He's got a game going on. He goes to that press conference.
We always say he doesn't give anything away. That's why we always say if he talks about a player, like he physically names a player in a press conference, you're like, well, that guy's going to start. That's the only time you'll get anything out.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's stopped now because he is naming players.
Yeah, he's not naming people anymore. We noticed that for a while, didn't we? He'd noticed someone.
Yeah, but he did it the other day. He was speaking about Fabianski in preparation for the FA Cup game or something like that, and it was Areola. Look at Lucky Boy down in that pint.
Have to do it. Get down.
But listen, it's that time of the show where we need to start building our starting 11 for the game. So if you are watching, get it in the chat just now. Let us know who you would like to see in the starting 11 for tomorrow's game against Leeds. Wrong one. Right, lads, let's do this bad boy. I just don't think there's any point in even going through the conversation about
I think David Martin could start in goal. He had a start all season, has he? So
he's full of the banter. Let's just get.
And Antonio playing goalkeeper now.
Yeah.
Did anyone see this interview in the week?
No,
on some podcast, they're talking about goalkeepers, and he said he's spoken to the goalkeeping coach, and he's put his name forward as back in the day when Big Sam never had a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Back was like the championship, and what's his name? Ended up going in goal a couple of times, Lansbury.
Yeah.
Because Big Sam never had a goalkeeper. Well, Antonio's put his name forward to do it. He reckons he could play in goal.
Why not?
Let's get on to the back four. We've got Fabianski in goal. Let's go to left back. Creswell maintains his place. I mean, he's come through the game unscathed. He's looking fine. He looks like he's never been missing, so he maintains his position.
I don't know. I think Masuaku, based on his form, should take the starting role. To be honest with you, because there's no way you can start putting Creswell. He's been injured also. What's he done to earn his place back? Masuaku's been amazing at left back. I think it's just taking a piss, to be honest with you. But yeah, come on, if you want to put Creswell in, that's fine. Don't know what he brings to the team. Don't know what he brings that's positive. But there you go. If you want to go that way,
I might just clip that whole thing and just send it to Stell.
Yeah, just for anyone that's watching, looks taking a piss. Anyway, yeah. Dawson and Diop in the centre-back pairing?
Isn't Dave Martin's dad still alive? You can just bring him back out of retirement. He can go to the back.
Alvin Martin.
Yeah, that one. He loves it, doesn't he? He loves being on the carrot and blue. Give him a chance.
But listen,
again.
what I will say is, I did feel genuinely like Diop looked a lot more comfortable with Creswell beside him.
He
to be honest.
did. He started a bit shaky, but I think then he realised he had Creswell next to him, and he sort of grew into the game. It's like he started on panic station. And then he sort of about 10 minutes in, he was like, oh, wait a minute, no, Creswell can actually defend. And then it was like the first half and the second half were two entirely different players, Diop.
Yeah.
Like the first half was the sort of Diop we've seen for the last month playing alongside Masuaku. And then the second half was this Diop you've seen where he looks like a solid defender, he reads the game and he brings the ball out. And you're like, okay, yeah, maybe he is still young and inexperienced, but maybe there was something still with Masuaku playing next to him.
Yeah. Right. Right back. It really leaves us with two options. Soufal played there the other day, but I mean, you're literally now talking about leaving Ben Johnson out. He's not really done anything wrong to be left out. So what are we doing? What do we do with the right back position?
You've got the mouse. Just hold on and click to where Sifal is. Put him at right back and get on with this thing. You know what is going to happen. just do your job. Stop pissing about.
You know what? I know what you're saying. It is very harsh on Ben Johnson. However, like the assist he got for Bowen's first goal is the reason that Sufal's done so well. It is his. Yeah. Don't be wrong. When he gets into a shooting position in the final third, he's like prime Joey O'Brien and has a nosebleed and forgets what he's doing. But if he's further out on the wing,
that's an insult to Joey O'Brien, by the way. Just to say,
if he's further out on the wing and cross it in, he's a very good right back. Don't forget he was one of the best in the league last year.
Well, if you're anything like Frank Butcher, you played for Dynamo Walford with me right left hanging off my no excuses.
Frank Butcher looks a lot like Julian Dix there, so I'm wondering which alias he actually is. Both of them would do the same thing.
George Mayer is saying Fab, Cress, Zouma, Diop, and Sufal in defence. Henry's saying Fab, Sufal, Zouma, Diop, Creswell in defence. I really just don't see Zouma starting the game. Mark Alexander, Fab, Cress, Diop, Dawson, Sufal. Fab, Dawson, Diop, Crazy. So I think most people are probably in agreement there. Crazy from English Yardie is the calming influence on the back line. Carino saying, please, can we not have Tony Gale in the commentary? Yeah, I felt the same as well. Troz, really? Fab, Crez, Diop, Dawson.
Has he not sort of signed to it? For anyone that watches the naughty streams, whenever I see the highlights on Twitter, it is just Tony Gale. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
You search such and such like West Ham goal. We search it on the day, and someone's put some like dodgy stream up. It hasn't been taken down by Twitter yet. Like every game is Tony Gale. Like does he have a contract with like is it Daz or ESPN or something? It's like you cover every West Ham game.
Did someone put commentary on their comment? I swear I just saw someone put commentary. Pretty tired, mate.
Let's jump into the midfield maestro. So obviously Declan Rice will be there. Now we're led to believe Mark Noble won't be fit, so I'll be removing him from the equation. People are hoping. If he's fit, if he's okay, and if he's out of isolation, it's a no-brainer. He plays. But I'm going to go on the remit that he is going to be missing for the game tomorrow. So if he is missing, what do West Ham do? Now, look, this makes it interesting.
Personally, thinking about it, to be honest with you, I think he might just play the same team as last game. I think he'll have Lanzini next to Rice and then put Fornals, Vlasic and Bowen in the attack. And then have Antonio up top. It does make sense. I don't think I completely agree with it, but it's one of them games where you probably do need a bit of creativity in the midfield, and Lanzini probably gives you that. So you've got that extra creativity in the midfield rather than just in attack. So it probably does work out that way. So yeah, okay, I'm not going to go through the whole team, but yeah, exactly. So
again, though, harsh on Alex Kroll.
Yeah, well, I don't get what people are getting annoyed at, because they're saying, "Oh, you've got Crown, you're not going to use him." Well, no, it was never definitely going to use him. We got him through his cover, and that was the whole point of it. It wasn't. That's why it's a loan deal. It wasn't definitely going to be used. And I think everyone, the people were calling for him when Souček was out of form. Well, in my opinion, was out of form, and now he's like almost getting back to what he used to be, apart from the goals. There's almost like no need for him. Crown will get his chance. But it's nothing to do with how he's performing. You've got to realise that West Ham's at a point now where you kind of have to perform every game to a certain level. And if you have a bad game, then you come out. Look at Johnson. Johnson was playing really well, but he's been taken out because he had a slight injury, I think, and then he lost his place and then he come back in, sort of thing. So I'm not worried about Crow. Crow will play when Crow needs to play. But that could be in the FA Cup. That could be against Kidderminster. I wouldn't worry about it right now.
Let's put the man who is on. Sorry, Matt. Are you agreeing with playing Lanzini?
No,
I think Moyes will play Lanzini. I do. I think Luke's right. I think because if you've got Fornals there, then Fornals and Lanzini can take it in turn sitting alongside Rice. A bit like, remember in like Project Restart when we had Noble and Souček there, and they all took it in turns. no one wants to check who's the guy getting forward. I personally would play Crowell there. It does make a conundrum on who would you drop out of Lanzini and Fornals. But no offence, like Lou said earlier, Leeds are not Norwich. And Bielsa has built this team, no matter who plays in it, on this big, expansive, open, high-press attacking game. And it's a bit different playing Lanzini in there alongside Rice against Norwich when we're going to have 70, 80% of the ball. And then you stick 10 men behind the ball. You've got to try and break them down. This will be like the game last week. It's not going to be all one way. It's going to be a wide open, end-to-end game. And playing Lanzini in there alongside Rice just gives you more room. Because Lanzini can dictate the play from sitting there, but he's not as defensively good as Rice. Personally, I'd play Crowell there for the defensive solidity. However, he obviously just, I don't know what was putting the signing Crowell. Like, he's had so many chances to play him. He just doesn't play him. Like, was this not one of Moyes' signings? Was this like a David Sullivan signing? Like, it just looks like Moyes doesn't actually fancy him. Like, he's had so many chances to give him playing games when he could have played. And Moyes has gone,
why does he need to play him?
There's a valid point that Luke's making here, though.
You said we bought him as cover for Rice and Souček. Right? So Souček's now not playing. So does the guy that came in for cover not play?
No,
if he doesn't play, you're playing Lanzini. Then what is the point in bringing him in for cover? Because he's not covering, is he?
I completely agree. He's cover. But at the same time, when you've got Lanzini on form, and suddenly they watch players in training anyway. But I'm saying that most of the time, when you look at a player like Vlasic, we spent 30 million on, right? Quietly 30 million, because you don't almost look at him as a 30 million pound player. You almost look at him as like he's a lone player. But when you've got that sort of attacking threat, you kind of think to yourself, well, do I want to change the formation so much? Do I want to put in a player that maybe he doesn't trust him? Maybe he sees him in training and goes, he's not really that great. But at the same time, Lanzini has come back with such a flourish, and Vlasic is almost like pushing right. Come on as subs a few times. It looks like he's quite up for the challenge. He's fitting in well to the way West Ham play. So in a way, if he'd have played Lanzini against Norwich and it hadn't worked and would have lost 2-0 or 1-1, then I think maybe he would have played Crowell, because he thinks, no, actually, do you know what? Playing Lanzini in middle ain't working out. It's not having the effect I thought it would. But clearly it has. And I think actually Lanzini, to me, has been proving that he's a bit more of a defensive player than I thought he was. But like I said earlier as well, you're not going to come up against the Norwich every week. So Lanzini could play tomorrow. And within 20 minutes, you're going, he should have played in this game. Crowell should have played in that game. And that would make sense then, because you're watching it during the game. It's a completely different team. Leeds could be knocking them, first 2 minutes and going, Moyes could be like, do you know what? I should have played Crowell. This is bad. But right now, with the way the team is, it would have actually made more sense to me to play Crowell. But this is the thing about Moyes. Moyes is changing my opinion of things. When you see the decisions that he makes, it actually works. When we signed Lanzini, would anyone think that he'd fit in well in the midfield next to Rice? I don't think anyone thought that. And when he played against Burnley, you sort of thought to yourself, well, yeah, he's fitted in well there. And again, he fit in well against Norwich as well. And obviously, Moyes thinks that he's just going to keep him there. I could be wrong. Crowell could play tomorrow, and I could be completely wrong. But I think the way that the team is at the minute is more stick than twist. And I think bringing Crowell in.
I agree with you.
Do you know what I mean?
What I will say, though, is having, as much as I love Lanzini and I really highly rate him, and I think he actually does offer us something, and also can offer us something in the role that we're talking about. Against Norwich, we can't deny the fact that several times Norwich got through the middle, because we were lacking that Tommy Souček and Declan Rice partnership. And that's what we did see. However, we gambled on creativity and the ability to get forward and be creative. Now, there's no ifs or buts about it. When you look at this team here, Lanzini, Fornals, Bowen, Vlasic, there's a fucking shitload of creativity there. And Pablo Fornals and Lanzini have a really strong partnership. And sometimes you feel like if they can just get a little bit of game time together, maybe potentially in this role, this is another formation and another kind of set of players that can play in that kind of defensive minded, like what you said, Matt, earlier on. If Lanzini does push a little bit further forward, Fornals could cut back in. However, what I noticed against Norwich was everyone was going forward at several points, and maybe that's what was opening up them getting forward. So that, I mean, we have to respect the opposition. We have to think about the opposition. It is Leeds. They're going to have players back as well. So I think there's going to be differences in comparison to Norwich. But I do think that team there that we're looking at is strong enough on its day to turn up and do a job. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah?
Yeah, personally for me, I think that's spot on.
It's attacking, yeah, I wouldn't question that in the slightest. I said for me, it's just like you pointed out, Norwich still had chances, or they still had chances to have chances. There's quite a few times they did get through the middle of us or down the sides, and then there was no one in the middle. Like I think I remember even in like the 90th minute, we're 2-0 up, and we started pressing, and then like the three guys for us in the middle all went chasing one ball. Norwich got it back, and like if they'd have played the right pass, but the attacking mid was literally running at the back four, but they tried to play it long to the centre forward and he lost it. That's just what's in my head because, like we said a few times now, Norwich aren't Leeds. I don't know how Norwich won today. I haven't seen that, but I mean Everton must be genuinely awful right now under Benitez. I mean, they're talking about possibly sacking it.
Yeah,
but Leeds are very good on their day. They're a very good team. We've seen it, and they play this way regardless. Their heads don't drop. I remember that game last season. It was at Old Trafford, and they lost. I want to say like 6-2.
Yeah,
I think they were like 5-0 down, and they were still just playing the exact same way and got 2 goals back.
Yeah,
like so for me, like don't get me wrong, I agree with you both of you that I think that is the team Moyes will put out because he's gone. They've done a job against Norwich. Lanzini's performing well for me. That's the team we're going to play.
Yeah,
I just worry that Leeds are soft underbelly for the way Leeds play.
We'll see. We'll see. There's loads of comments in the chat as well, so we'll move on with the next part of the show, which is to get your predictions in for the game tomorrow. If you are watching, put it in the chat. Get your predictions in the comment section as well. What were you going to say, mate?
I just realised that Matt's bed is in the background with what looks like a body bag for pillows, and it seems that none of the chat have picked up on it at all. Like they would my wallpaper, like they would other things.
Don't need to worry about wallpaper. You've got these.
Yeah, that's it. That's where your camera should be. I'm looking down. I'm thinking, bloody hell, someone did have a good night last night.
I'll leave like that. Don't worry about me, mate. There you go.
Someone's paid the price.
Sit like this. Yeah.
You got a human skin colour duvet as well, which is a bit weird. Worrying me a little bit.
Mate, I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you giving it the bigger?
Listen, I'm just. I'll let you fight it out right the next time we meet up. If you are watching, make sure you do get the predictions.
I'm fighting him. I'll end up in the body bag.
Get your predictions in the chat, but first and foremost, we'll go to the fans' corner and let's go and see what people have got to say about the game tomorrow.
I hope you are all well. Just a little message about the Leeds game tomorrow. I think we are going to find it a little bit more difficult than the FA Cup game. They're going to have players like Rafinha starting that can cause us big problems. So definitely we need to tighten up at the back. Of course, Zouma looks like he's going to be back. Whether he's in starting fitness, I don't know. But it will be hopefully a big boost to see him back on that pitch. But yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game. I think we will prevail though. It's going to be 2-1 to West Ham. Vlasic and Bowen to get the goals. Rafinha will score for Leeds. I think he's going to cause us problems, but yeah, I'm going to get those 3 points, and then we move on to Man United away the week after. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.
Just going to leave my quick thoughts on the West Ham vs Leeds game. The way it's going to go down is, you know how Leeds are going to play. They're just going to come straight for you. They're going to come at you, but I feel that's where their style of play is going to be tailor-made for us, especially with our counter-attacking threat that we've got at the moment. I feel also that if we control the game as well, like we did against Norwich, then I feel that we can knock a few past them. The thing that we can't do is we can't keep starting slow. I think sometimes when we start slow, we tend to give like the other team confidence. But you know, like I said, if we get control of the game from the off, just literally counter-attacking football, Leeds won't be able to handle it. For me, I think it's going to be a 2-0, but personally, I think we can get more, literally like 3 or 4. But you know, it's football, man. You don't know what's going to happen. But I feel confident. I feel confident with the game going on. Yeah, that's what I think, man.
Cess with the confidence there. Cess is with the confidence. Not just 2, but possibly 3 or 4-0. If you are interested in being involved in the Fans Corner and want to submit a video it was Luke's idea actually, so well done, Luke. Submit or send me an email on westhamnetwork@gmail.com, and then what we'll do is start to feature them on this certain segment. We'll do about 4 or 5 every week as well. So yeah, just get in contact with us on the West Ham Network. Title it Fans Corner and let us know if you're interested, and I'll let you know what you need to do. Matt, I'll do the chat in a minute. Predictions for the game tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to go for another 2-0. Same score as last week. I think that'd be a hat trick of 2-0s at home in a row. So yeah, why not? Be a gritty game. I think, you know what? I think because I think we said last week when you done the watch log, we said it really was like a Premier League game rather than an FA Cup game. So I probably expect much the same sort of game again. So another 2-0. Do me.
2-0. Lucky boy, over to you, mate.
Fans Corner is my idea if it proves to be good for us, and if it isn't good for us, then it's your idea. Right, that's the deal we've got. Right, I'm just going to say that because last time we had about 5 videos, this one we had 2. It's getting less and less. Yeah, get your videos in, guys. Better than mine. I think 3-1. Actually, I would love to say 2-0 again, but I've got a feeling we've got a goal to concede coming, and with maybe. You know, we beat them 2-1 last time, didn't we? So we nothing for. Yeah, it's going to be 3. I can't concentrate now. 3-1. Rafinha, Bowen. Yeah, I've seen the comment. That's pretty well. Yeah, Bowen, Antonio is due a goal, and Lanzini, and then Rafinha for them 3-1.
I'm going to go 3-2 West Ham, and. Yeah, I like that one. 3-2 West Ham. Neil T is saying 4-0 to West Ham. Happy Amaret is saying 1-0 will be tougher than we think. Rodale's is saying Rafa, Newcastle bound like everyone else. Stuart K as well. My opinion is the North London cancellation has played totally into West Ham hands. 2-0 West Ham. Vinay is saying 3-1 to West Ham. Bowen, Lanzini, Yarmolenko. Mark Alexander, 2-1. Tough game. Matthew E. Gerald was saying 2-1 West Ham. Frank Butcher, 1-0 West Ham. Steve Bell, 3-1. Hornswosler, 2-0 to us. Toby Sampson, 2-1 to the Irons. They're going to be out of the to get some pride back. If not, revenge. Jason, 2-1. Gary Lockett, 2 each. A Desmond or 3-2 Hammers. Danny Jackson, 2-0 West Ham. Kevin saying 2-1. Gary saying 2-0. Garino saying, look, we don't want to get Matt arrested. Troj is saying a Desmond. English Yardie 1-0 will be a tough match. Mark Collins saying 2-0 West Ham. Bow and brace. Neil saying you sound better, Luke. Look, leave Matt's bed alone. He's a young lad. Laugh out loud. Andrew 3-1.
I will leave it alone. 100%. I will. Don't worry about that. I'm not going to touch that bed. Don't worry about it.
I'll leave your turtleneck alone. It's fine.
He's been plotting that all day.
I didn't really what he said, but I sort of heard what he said.
He said what he said about the turtleneck, basically, like
okay.
Matt's got a babe waiting for him under the covers there. Mark Alexander, Hannibal Lecter, Duvet. Black Country Emerson, I'm going for a 3-1 West Ham win. Graham Lindsay says, I see this as a tougher the cup game, so I'm going 2-1 West Ham. Kimbo 2-0 all day. P. Gads is saying Leeds will be tough, best to get 3 at the back. Arthur and Vlad next to Manu and Deck with Pablo, Vlasic and Antonio and Bowen. Toby Hutchison is just saying losers. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Hold on a minute. Frank's saying Toby a white turtleneck.
Normally I do wear a
Honestly,
black
think-
one, to be fair.
Honestly, I think it may be a 1-0 draw, but going with 3 points. James Bong, when you lose to a team 6 days earlier, you have the impetus to put things right. That's why I'm usually worried about this game, but I still think we'll squeak a win. Gary's saying Leeds will definitely score, so we need goals. Say that when you can win a European title. We have. Anyway, and Toby's just telling you that your name's shite, so end of. Jake living it up large, being chauffeured around. I wonder how Johnson would fare in the centre of the back four. He has all the attributes. Yeah, good shout as well. Jake in the back of the Rolls Royce, Parker driven. God, there's so many comments. No nudity in the videos, just to let you know that. Yeah, look, please don't be sending me any more of those videos, mate. Pat Mahone is saying 18-0. One day I'll be right. Jake living the YouTube high life in the Rolls. Is he a white van driver? Look at Stato and his wall trophies more corrupt than Boris. P. Gads 3-2 West Ham. Mandy G's 2-1. Troy's saying at least 4 goals. Could be here all night saying all the comments. I'm going to keep putting them up as we go along. Matt,
That's what it is.
Matt, the player you fear the most from Leeds United, mate.
If he plays, he's got to be Rafinha. Like he's like their jewel. He's the guy that's above. Oh, I'd put Calvin Phillips in their category, but Calvin Phillips isn't playing.
He's their player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. So if he starts, if he plays, I'm just thankful that if he starts and plays this week and not last week because he's got Creswell back. But definitely Rafinha. Or you know what? Another one if he plays is Bamford. Not exactly the prettiest player, but he does know where the back of the net is.
Look, who's the player you fear the most?
I echo those Rafinha comments, but I do actually fear the goalkeeper because the goalkeeper has a sort of tendency to play quite well against us. And we need to start scoring some goals. I know we're winning 2-0 and, that can't be laughed at, but I would like to see start putting 3 or more goals. I know that's maybe asking for a lot, but he tends for young. I didn't realize he was that young. For a young goalkeeper, he always tends to be a brick wall for them, especially against us. So got to work hard at it. And Rafinha is always the one you sort of look to, most creative player for as well. So Rafinha for me too.
And the West Ham player that they should fear the most, Matt.
There's only one name at the moment, surely. The guy's in the form of his life. He's got to be Bowen.
Bowen is on fire. Yep. Matt, look.
Masuaku when he comes on in the last 10 minutes and dribbles round 10 of them. And then...
The player that they're supposed to fear, not the player we're supposed to fear.
There you go. John Murdoch is saying the player I fear the most is Arthur, and he's ours.
Both. Leave him alone. Both. I think I would say Bowen, but I think Rice is the way he played it, he's pretty decent. But yeah, obviously Bowen scores 2 goals and he's on fire. So Bowen as well.
Yeah,
same here.
Excellent. Cool. If you are new around here, please make sure you do subscribe to the channel. We're on a march towards 11,000 subscribers. Please also leave a comment in the chat. Also hit the thumbs up if you are interested. If you've enjoyed the content, there is a bell notification beside the subscribe button. If you hit that bell notification, that will notify you when any of our shows go live. Also, if you are interested in becoming a channel member, you can click the link which is in the chat. And go and click that link and that will take you to the channel membership program as well and let you know what is available. Tomorrow, I'm still not 100% sure if I'm going to be doing a match day live tomorrow. So that's why you should hit the subscribe button and should hit the bell notification because then you will be notified if we are doing a show. There will be guaranteed a review show straight after the game though. So keep your eye on that. Matt and Luke, any last words before we head?
I think we said all we need to say, but yeah, I'm hoping that Masuaku scores a last minute goal and just cups his ear and go, I meant that one. But yeah, so come on, you wines, we'll do it. We'll be fine.
Absolutely, Matt.
Another win tomorrow. Push on. team like Luke said, results went our way today. So
Oh, need a win. Need a win, by the way. Do need a win
Think
for
that
Chelsea
the,
drop points today.
Chelsea drop points, Man United drop points.
Yeah.
I think we go about 8 points clear of Man United.
Isn't that mad? Isn't that mad when you're saying that the teams
And we'd actually
like
only be 3 points. I think if we win tomorrow, we're only 3 points behind Chelsea.
Here we are.
Yeah. It's mad we're
Yeah.
competing with them teams, not going, oh, Aston Villa have dropped points now, Newcastle dropped points now, Norwich have dropped points now. We're closer to safety now. It's nice. It's nice, isn't it?
Yep, 3 points from the
Well, win
dreaded
tomorrow,
40
we hit the big 4-0.
Yeah, big 4-0
Survival
tomorrow.
party
if we
tomorrow,
win.
lad.
If we win. Yep. Well, listen, thank you very much for commenting. Hopefully you have enjoyed the show today. Make sure there will be some shows tomorrow, but you do have to subscribe and hit the bell notification as well. So bear with us and stay safe. And if you're going to the game tomorrow, sing loud and proud. I've booked, I'm back. I'm coming back to West Ham games. I'm buzzing. So I'm going to Manchester United at the next weekend, and then I'll be down for the Watford game. So hopefully we'll have a little bit of a booze up. I mean, yeah, we'll see what we can do. We'll talk it through. But if anyone is in the chat is going to be in and around the Stratford and wants to have a kind of chat or meet up, then let us know. I will be down for the Watford game. I think that's February the 8th. So I think I arrive into London about 2 o'clock in the day. So I've plenty of time. Matt, get the day off. Look, get the day off and we'll go and have a bevy up. All right. Peace out. Stay safe, everyone. Come on, you irons. What is it? There. Bye.
It's like a family tree.